further ado, notes. Good vegans, Maggie here, and welcome to another video. So, I'm sweating. I'm on campus right now in a very small room. And it's not soundproof, so people can hear me, and people are walking by and can see me, and I hate this. So finally, I am making the part 2 for the Vegan in College series, and this is focusing primarily on being vegan off campus. Congrats! You now live off campus, away from those gross, cramped, sweaty dorms. It can be really good to get away or get off of campus where there are more food options, but now you are in control, which is exciting. I mean, I don't know, I like being in control, but it may seem overwhelming. What should you buy? How much should you spend? Are you gonna be eating enough? You gonna get the right things? What are the right things? Yada yada. So stay tuned, I answer these questions and other questions and go over a bunch of stuff throughout this video. So let's get started. So without further ado, I want to talk about 3 main issues people have about going vegan. Number 1 is that it's too expensive to eat vegan. Number 2 is that it's too time-consuming to be vegan. And lastly, number 3 is that being vegan is too limiting. So very briefly, I don't think it's too expensive, I don't think it's too time-consuming, and I don't think it's limiting to eat vegan at all. However, I've learned a ton of tips and tricks over the past 7 years of being vegan. That's right, I just celebrated my 7th year vegan anniversary. So that's exciting. But I've learned a lot of tips and tricks along the way that I will share with you guys. All right, so we're gonna talk about budgets. People say eating vegan is expensive. Some tips to spending a little bit less on a vegan budget are buy in bulk. Most grocery stores have a bulk section where you can find bulk nuts and dry beans and rice and other grains. These are a hell of a lot cheaper than a box or a bag of rice or dried chickpeas or a bag of cashews or something. So I would really recommend buying in bulk. It will save you a ton of money. The second tip for spending a little bit less money on a vegan diet is to get dry food instead of canned food. So dry beans mostly is what I'm talking about. I don't always follow this advice, I'll be completely honest, because it contradicts my advice later, which is when we will talk about saving time. So I compromise, and I think that's important. That leads me to my third tip, getting fresh produce versus frozen produce. Sometimes, and especially during different seasons, fresh produce can be more expensive than frozen produce. Most people say that fresh produce is a little bit healthier than frozen produce, but I think if you're really trying to save money, nothing is wrong with buying frozen produce at all. My fourth tip is to figure out which stores carry the cheapest food. This tip kind of takes some time. You can also, on a day off, just go to different stores and figure it out. That also wastes gas money. I don't know. This is just something you figure out over time, but I think it's important in all aspects of our life to do research. My fifth tip kind of goes along with that last one. Go to farmers markets. These places have fresh produce for cheap prices. Then you can also even go to dollar stores. A lot of the times you'll find canned or dried beans and rice and pasta for $1 or less. So last tip is, if you're really trying to save money, focus on the cheap products, the inexpensive vegan foods. This includes bananas, potatoes, and beans and rice and other grains, a little bit more processed like oatmeal and pasta. But if you focus your meals on these things and add in some veggies, add in some fruits as needed, then you're pretty good to go. Okay, now let's talk about saving time. It's important. If you're in college, you don't have a lot of time. The most important thing I can say here is to meal prep. So meal prepping basically means finding time, one block of time. This can be, I usually do this on Sundays, but I will cook up my beans. If I got dry beans, I will cook a big pot of rice or a big pot of oatmeal. I will cook up my pasta, boil my potatoes. You get the idea. So you cook that stuff ahead of time and throw it in Tupperware, and then you have easy access to food. I will also cut up my veggies. So I got, carrots, cut them up. Broccoli, cut that shit up. Peppers, cut it up, and have those in Tupperwares as well, so I can just throw everything together. I don't have any prep time when I'm making meals. If I get hungry, I don't want to have to spend, 30 minutes making food, so I just throw everything together. And then you can also make whole meals ahead of time. Soups, stews, curries, chili, whatever. Throw that in Tupperware, throw that in the fridge, and boom, meals. Or you can even freeze them in I would say single serving containers, so you can just nuke that shit and then there you got dinner. Or you can even make overnight oats. This is probably one of my favorite breakfasts. Whatever, this shit's good. The night before, you throw in 2/3 of a cup of oatmeal, some peanut butter, a banana, mash it together, throw in some liquid. I like almond milk or cashew milk. You can even throw in chia seeds, which I usually do, hemp seeds, protein powder if you want. I like frozen blueberries in this. You throw that all in, mix it together, put it in the fridge overnight, and in the morning, you got breakfast. You don't even have to warm it up. It's, I think, better cold. Those are the tips that I have. So yeah, those are the tips that I have for saving time on a vegan diet, because ain't nobody got time to mess around. Basically just meal prep. Prepare your food ahead of time and you'll be golden. To eat vegan in college is not hard. It's not any more expensive, especially if you're not ordering food all the time with your friends. Make your own food. I think that anybody can be vegan at any stage in their life. I don't think college is any different. You can be vegan and spend $20 a week. It's really up to you and how much you want to spend, how much time you want to put into this. Lastly, I want to note that you don't have to be healthy to be vegan, but I do emphasize health. I do emphasize eating a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, and whole plant-based foods. I know that, in college, people talk about, the freshman 15 and beyond. You're sitting a lot because you're studying. You're not exercising that much. You're eating pizza a lot and ordering Chinese food all the time, which I'll be honest, I do, so it's okay. I think the most important thing to note is that you should focus on health, because if you feel good on the inside, you look good on the outside and you perform better, do better in your classes and on your exams and all of that jazz. So below I have links for a couple of websites, examples on cheap, like budget friendly, like we're talking, one of my examples is this lady spent $1.50 per day. It was $1 per day. Yeah, I think it was like a $7 weekly budget. You really can't get any cheaper than that. So anybody can be vegan. Check out those links below. Check out my Instagram. Give this video a like if you're a college student, if you're thinking about being vegan, if any of this has helped you, sounds good. I don't know if you like my face, give the video a like. Subscribe for more. I'm really trying to do this weekly video thing, so we'll see. And always thanks and stuff. Okay, yeah. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for watching. Bye. Excuse me.